You found someone perfect.
Spats, hey. Bench woman's over, coach put me in the game. Walking in the venue, surprised that they know my name. I paid nothing for these shoes, 200 on the chain. It'll be gold plated till I can afford the whole thing. Cheap as fuck, best believe it. If I ain't got a coupon for it, then I don't need it. Fuck Gucci, Louis Prada, cop some GPC. I told her bust it open, throw it back like PSPs. Want a verse from me, then that's a fee. If you from the
Yo, what's up, guys? What's up? Welcome back to Crank Up, the HBCU Band Podcast, episode number 8. I am Horatio.
My name is Manny. How y'all doing?
Man, this has been just a phenomenal look. Every week is phenomenal when it comes to HBCU bands. All right, you know we are fans. We are so excited for the week. But let's start off this episode. Subscribe to this podcast. It is so hard for you. It's so hard for you to accept that your band program took a L sometime. Sometimes you can't find the clip where y'all lost. I mean, it's horrible. You can, but that's and this is why loyalty and you know what I'm saying, just respect to your program is so big, because when people like that is what every program needs. Every program needs somebody who, you can't tell them nothing about their program. You can find every bad clip, every bad note. They gonna act like it never happened.
It never happened. It's the pride and it's delusion too. You know, we got some delusional band heads out there. Shout out to the delusional band heads.
Yeah, we
never
love y'all.
In the zero, on the field, a fifth, parking lot battle, parade, nothing. Never.
Nothing. I've never seen them lose at all. So moving on, man. We had a great week this week. I think we're sort of in the mid range of the season. Would you say?
Yeah, this is what week. Who cares? But it's the middle. This is where the real swag action starts to happen.
Definitely.
And you get actual matchups. I said swag action, but I come from the swag, so that's what my mind is at. But
Right.
We got interconference HBCU play at these battles, man, and so it's starting to kick up. We got some good matchups. JSU been battling the whole state of Alabama, but we're gonna start off with
yeah, we'll get there later. Oh yeah, and like you said, man, this is a great time for the SWAC and some other conferences, man, have been seeing some good battles. So let's start it off, man, with a matchup that everybody really has been waiting to see since the season started, and that is Southern University versus Texas Southern. Now, where was this game at? It wasn't at Texas.
Arlington, Texas. It was a classic. I can't remember the name right now, but it was organized classic that they did. So that's how that matchup was. I never seen that stadium before. I never seen it.
Yeah, it was a good positioning. Every time bands battle in a big ass stadium like that, it's very hard to get good clips of like a good battle because they're like literally so far apart. But like the individual being on each side as far as the cameraman is concerned, you do get good clips. But just going back and forth is just too far apart. But obviously everybody knows that Brian Simmons is director of Texas Southern, and he left Southern and that whole thing. So this is really interesting. And Southern, bro, really put on, man. Really, really put on from the beginning. And you know what's so crazy is that this is an example of what we do in HBCU bands. It don't matter if this nigga was here. He don't know nothing else but Southern. But we're going to make sure he can't sleep tonight because of the ass whooping that we gave him. So what'd you think of the battle, and what'd you think about it being so kind of personal?
Bro, out the gate, Southern was coming with it. Band director Kendrick Taylor, he put on the show. That's hilarious.
Definitely.
You love the energy, but you love it for your band director. And I was watching that like, man, if I was in the band, that would have turned me up to a whole different level, man.
Definitely.
Just right out the gate. Southern, they played pretty well. I would say this is not their best performance of the season. I feel like they could have sounded better than what they did. They got the W to me, but I feel like it was lacking. And that sound wasn't traveling in that stadium from the clips I've seen like I thought it should have. And talk about Texas Southern, what they're doing, I can hear the attempts at these arrangements.
Yeah.
They just don't have the band right now to play.
They don't have the body for it. Yeah, they don't.
Or, for me, it's like they're playing them, but they're not being thoroughly played. Right. It more sounds like an attempt right now. But let that band develop and bulk up and see if they can actually execute these arrangements.
Yeah, I think that was like kind of what I was seeing, and I think that was
Hmm.
the general consensus, especially in the comments and or amongst band heads that Chuck Southern, of course, they didn't sound bad, but they were visibly smaller than what I'm used to seeing them, which is different
Hmm.
with the new band director, and they're going up against one of the best HBCU bands right now. So it was an interesting matchup because of the history. But I mean, if we just look at it, if you ain't know nothing about these two bands' staff or whatever, it would just and you just came to the battle, it would have just been like obviously Southern got the dub. And
Hmm.
it was good to see. Southern staff was mobbed the fuck up though, bro. Oh my god, I've never seen bro. These niggas was standing like I'm like, yo, it's like, but see,
Oh yeah.
and that's why like these type of games and just knowing the backstory of all these bands and whatever is fun or interesting to know because you get to see the aggression that these students are playing from, because they are trying to prove a point. Both of these bands trying to prove a point, because of the situation that they're in.
Right. You got to go in there with that mindset, that aggression, that you're gonna take somebody's head off, regardless of what your history is. Band is being in band, and band is about that moment when you're in there and you engaging. It's about putting your energy and your soul into that music and to
Right.
send a message. And that message was, we gonna murder you off the rip, and that's what it takes. We gonna talk about that. That's gonna be the final thought. We will get back to that.
Definitely. Well, definitely, man. Look,
Mm-hmm.
being that we're talking about Texas Southern, let's keep it with them. That was 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago. They battled against Southern, but this past week they battled Grambling. And look, I thought that they made up for sure for what happened with Southern as far as taking the L against Southern. To me, they're progressing throughout the weeks. That's something I'm seeing with Texas Southern. Came in Grambling. They really sounded phenomenal. And the song selection, and you can, like you said, as far as their arrangements, they really started clicking as far as arrangements concerned because Texas Southern, their arrangements were not as difficult as they are now. So to hear the type of music that they were playing before and to hear it now is completely
Right.
different. So you can see that that change is being made. But to me, if you just lose a battle, especially to a big HBCU like that, you want to you want a dub. You know what I'm saying? You want to feel good. You want to beat up on the band, whatever. And I feel like that's what they got a chance to do with Grambling. Now Grambling, though Grambling sounds good and Grambling is big, bro. Grambling does not have any Like they don't have any like Grambling. They don't have none of that like god damn Grambling's just out here just killing it. And I don't know what that happens to be. We talk about Grambling a lot, with the band director and everything like that. But I feel like Texas Southern took the dub, and they were a lot more aggressive, and they won off of song selection with Grandma. I know you didn't see the battle, but I think
No,
that was my takeaway.
see, looking at Texas Southern this year, started how I look at it, right? Starting with the PV game, first game out the season, I felt like they did put a better performance on there than they did versus Southern.
Right.
And I saw them progress week to week, but that Southern week just felt awfully iffy in the stands to me. But to hear that they did well against Grambling, I need to see that battle. Grambling this year, man. If what you say is like, if I agree with that, it's they doing well, but it's not getting W's.
Right.
They're just not getting W's. They
Right.
performing well. What they do is not necessarily bad, but it's stiff competition out there. You got to go above and beyond and go to the next level if you want to win.
Definitely, definitely. Well,
Right.
we could put a button on that. Shout out to Texas Southern, man. We see the growth. And, you gonna have to take a few L's sometimes, man. Like that's the whole thing. That's going back to our subscribe to this podcast. All right. Sometimes you're gonna take some L's. All right, and you gotta be able to see them. So let's move on, man. To some matchups that I thought were pretty good. Alabama
Mm-hmm.
A&M and Jackson State. As a former Boomsman, tell me your opinion on the battle and what you thought.
Coming straight out, this is my mindset. Following the Talladega battle, I gave the Boone a W, but I told him I wasn't happy with it. And if it was me, I'd come out with a chip on my shoulder.
Right.
And that's exactly what I saw in this game.
Mm-hmm.
It, I saw more energy coming from the Boone. I saw more confidence. I saw them trying to impose their will on A&M,
Right.
but I did not like the song selection really.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some of those arrangements, some of these rap tunes, you need to retire them from the fifth. They really need to go. But
Mm-hmm.
the band sounded good,
Definitely.
very taking advantage of their size and using that power. It was great. A&M, clean sound. They just sound bland. They sound great with like no seasoning.
Right.
I need more
Need more sauce,
ethnicity.
man. Need more sauce from A&M, bro. You're
I
right.
need some ethnicity to that. Like
No,
what's
no,
the
for
soul
real.
of the music? It sounds good. It's like I was thinking today. They check the boxes. You know what I'm saying?
They
They
do.
just check. They sound good here, but I need to go for them to take grasp and to take hold of the opportunity that they have right in front of them with the good band that they have. They need to add some more style.
What I will say about I think that Jackson took the dub, but A&M sounds really really good when it comes to ballads. They've always sounded really good when it comes to balance. They are a really good balanced band, So
Right.
that's something I like about A&M because they're always going to sound good. Now, granted, sometimes their aggression or whatever doesn't really match, and they also need to work on their projection as well as a unit. To me, A&M, along with a band that we're about to talk about, they have good
Mhm.
players, but they don't have like really great sections. If that makes sense. So that's what I felt about that battle. And we can kind of keep it going since we're talking about Jackson State. Jackson State this week battle Alabama State. And look, before I even clicked on the battle, I
Yeah.
saw on Twitter people say that the Boom lost, and I said, man, okay. First of all, when I saw that, immediately clicked out. I don't want no bias when I'm watching the battle at all.
Oh yeah.
So this year, Jackson State really hasn't been giving me song selection I want. They've been playing newer songs, but just the actual arrangements aren't that like, oh my god to me. So with that being said, okay, I gave in the fifth I gave it to Jackson. I mean in the zero I gave it to Jackson. The fifth, Bama State won to me off of song selection. And we talked about this last episode. Yo, it's not just cranking, bro. It's not just power, yo. Like Jackson State obviously is a bigger band, right? So they're gonna be louder than Bama State. They're just more together as a program. They're gonna have a lot of power. But when it comes to song selection and placement, Alabama State won. They controlled the crowd better with their arrangements. I mean, with their song selection, and that's how you won. So, they only battled. They only had 4 rounds against each other. So I gave them three. I gave Bama State 3-1, and Jackson won. Jackson took the last round that they played against each other, and they played 2 songs after they left. Um, but those
Mhm.
2 songs to me could have helped like won the in the beginning. So it sounds like to me like listening to the battle that Jackson State's arrangements this year aren't really like giving it to me like that.
Mhm.
And Bama State just had better song selection, so they were able to
Right.
get the crowd and kind of maneuver a lot better. They also shout out to Bama State too. They played Liberian Girl, which is really good, and I forgot another song. I'll think about it. But what you think?
You hear the intro to Liberian Girl?
Yes,
I like it. It's pretty
yes,
unique.
really good. Yeah, it was a different than what I ever heard before. Yeah,
What I think about the look after listening to this battle, I this honestly went how I thought it would go.
really.
It went exactly how I thought it would go.
Why you say that?
I knew this is what I thought. This is exactly what I thought was gonna happen. It was homecoming week, Jackson State. I didn't think the band was gonna be focused, and it showed. How did the execution of the songs was right there was not there. Keep watching. That really sounded like it was kind of practice a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I wish everything was a lot better, but it wasn't. Alabama State this year, I know they're coming with a chip on their shoulder,
Yeah.
and what a perfect opportunity to battle Jackson State in Memorial to show improvement. And I knew they were going to take advantage of that. And with that said, same thing you were talking about song selection. If I look at Jackson State between Alabama A&M, Alabama State, and Talladega, I can't understand and figure out the philosophy of certain songs and when they're being played in reference to the whole battle. I
Right.
can't figure it out. I can't see the strategy. I can't see the trend. I can't see what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like that's a bad band. It's not a bad band, but it's like some of the song selections is not there. And I will also say I can tell that the band through what they play, there's a lack of passion behind it.
Right. right.
which is concerning.
Which is the name of the game. Which is look, and I remember when we was in high school, we had a director. I'm talking about Andre. He said one day,
Yeah.
and I always remember this. He said, you're not supposed to like everything you play, but you're supposed to act like it. And when he said that,
Right.
literally, I've always thought about that. I always remember that line and I took that line with me throughout my time in marching band because bro, you have to sell it. Even if, and of course, I mean, we all have songs that we don't like and that we had to
Mm.
play. But especially like when we're going up against a battle, especially in homecoming and whatever, bro, you got to give it every time. Not saying that they didn't. It just shows, like you said, the passion and the drive behind the execution of those songs really weren't there. And I think that Jackson was like, it's Bama State. They were like, oh, it's Bama State week. It's
Right.
homecoming. You know what I'm saying? In homecoming, anybody that's ever marched in the band and anybody that's ever marched in the band in college knows that homecoming, bro, is tiring, bro. You got to do all stuff
Mhm.
throughout the whole week. You got to do the parade in the morning. You got to get up early in the morning. Bro, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. So you be tired. And the kids in the band, they want to turn up like everybody else on campus, and they have
That's
been.
what it
You know what I'm saying? So,
is.
homecoming is not the time where you want to see a band that could win. And to me, Jackson State did not think that this band could win. So they was like, okay, cool, we're gonna do it. That's what I'm saying. Like the last song they played was Amazing by Kanye West. That song had more energy than any song that they played the whole uh fifth to me.
So yeah, like with Keep Watching and Scream, those are old Jackson State songs.
Right.
So you paying homage to the old Blues members
Mm-hmm.
and everybody, all the alumni and everything. Granted, great. But when it's battle time, it's battle time.
Right.
Play that after they leave.
Definitely.
Invite everybody to the band room and listen to the band.
Mm-hmm.
Don't don't waste a battle opportunity to please the alumni and the old head.
Right.
It's just
Definitely. Yeah.
come on now, 'cause you embarrass yourself
Yeah.
in the world. Because whether I don't know if the directors realize it or not, the outcome of these battles and the performance you put on influence the students you attract to your program.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah.
So you got to take this serious, not just for bragging rights online. It's really affecting the people that come to your institution.
Definitely. Definitely. And I was watching this battle with my homeboy. And he said, man, all these battles are it just band directors playing cards. I said, God damn it, that's so right. That's so right, bro. Because if the cards were played right, then we could have had a different
Mhm.
result. Same thing we talked about last week with I forgot who we was talking about. Basically saying oh no, we talked about like with with Jackson and Talladega. Even though it was a
Yeah.
longer battle, with this battle it was a lot shorter. So you really could have played your cards right and gave the songs that you know that you want to play or that they want to play. But like you said, it's
Mhm.
homecoming. They want to please the alumni. It's a lot of people there. I understand that. But by you doing this, you got these niggas across the way who are ready, right? And they don't give a fuck about your homecoming. They're not tired like y'all.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They got on the bus at a regular time and came here, and you know what I'm saying? It's a regular day for them. So
Mhm.
they hungry. And bro, Jackson State is lit right now, right? Deion
Bro,
Sanders,
that's
the biggest,
crazy.
the biggest damn HBCU homecoming ever. They said in attendance. So why not us come here and shit on these niggas, bro? Especially when we seen this band has taken some jabs this year. So shout out to Bama State for executing really well. Shout out to their high brass, their trumpets. They really did
Mhm.
a lot better than what I expected. They always have a good
I'm,
trombone section. Shout out to them.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone. If
Mm-hmm.
you look at what Bama State did with the strategy of their songs in the zero and the fifth, they
Mm-hmm.
was setting traps. They was
Definitely.
setting traps. They came out with they started with the J. Cole song because they knew Jackson State was gonna reply with theirs,
Right.
and then they came back with another one.
Right.
Right. They knew Week was on the internet. They knew
Yep.
Jackson State played Week, and
Yep.
they came back with Rain.
Right.
They knew they did the
They
research.
did.
Looking at the song selection based on Jackson State, it tells me that they weren't doing their research.
Right.
They weren't doing their research. Could have been.
Yeah.
That wasn't the first time I heard Liberian Girl and
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a comeback.
Right.
Come on.
And not regulate, but what's the song that sample regulate? It's a Michael McDonald song.
I keep forget.
I can't forget. Right.
I yeah,
They ate
whatever.
that too. They did
Yeah.
really well with that. So So Manny, are you saying that Jackson State took it? Wait, hold on. Everybody, stop. Hold on. Are you saying that Jackson State took an L this week against Alabama State?
My band head integrity won't let me say otherwise.
See, the subscribe. Look, the shit that we said in the beginning is Manny. He won't admit it. All right, but look, we'll move on because you know what I'm saying.
I admitted it. I said it took a L.
Okay,
I
yeah.
said band integrity won't let me lie. I
Yeah,
can't.
there you go. There you go. Hey, we're gonna tell you what we can get. All right, guys, let's move on
Mhm.
to the next matchup: Miles versus Benedict. Now, I saw both of these. I saw this battle, and look, I know that COVID did a number on Miles College, bro. Like, so
Mhm.
when the video first came on, I thought that the band that was Benedict was Miles. So I was very upset, bro, and it took me a long time for me to get over that.
I did the
I'm
same
like, bro, this
thing.
cannot be Miles, but I honestly didn't get through the whole battle, bro. It was Benedict. Look, Benedict. Same thing we said
Mhm.
when they battled Kentucky State. They're a in the box type of band, and
Mhm.
they really don't really step out of that box too much, like to give you a lot of like wow factory type of stuff. So I mean, I think Miles took the battle. What you think?
I gave it to Miles too, but I, Benedict played very well.
Mm-hmm,
I think they need more from their French horn players. Looking at they don't have very many, but look at their size and their numbers, they could be producing a lot more.
mm-hmm,
I would like to see them add some numbers to that trumpet section to fill out their sound a little bit more, and they could. I believe once they get a little size up, they can expand what they're doing with some of these arrangements.
mm-hmm.
Like some of these arrangements is very simple and basic
Simple, very simple.
me. But and then I look at what they have in the band, I'm like, yeah. But what else can you do to get a good product out there? So I
Right.
really can't blame them too much.
Mm-hmm,
Miles, I think Miles took a big hit from COVID, and their sound overall wouldn't be so bad to me if they got their baritone sound better.
mm-hmm.
It's like the trumpets aren't powerful; they're kind of weak, but they don't sound bad.
Right.
Baritone's out of tune is making the whole band sound bad. The trombones are still doing pretty well, and the F horns they could use a little work.
Mm-hmm,
These arrangements they just don't fit the current band that they have. I feel like as an arranger, when you bring the arrangement, you have to write for that band that you have in front of you.
mm-hmm.
You can't write what you want to come out because sometimes if you don't have the players, you don't have the numbers, the idea just can't come to fruition. It is
Definitely,
what it is.
definitely. Well, I feel the same place. I know in the note she said battle for a second place in the SEAC. So you gave it to Miles, but let's move on to the first goddamn place in the SEAC. Oh man, oh man, Kentucky State versus Lane. Now, first of all, look, I hate when bands sit on the same side. That's so a Georgia high school to me. Like, bro, what are y'all doing? Why do both of y'all bands sit on the same side? That's so whack. But both of these bands will sit on the same side. Lane, I haven't seen Lane since they battled Virginia State in 2019 or 2018, and they were a lot
Mhm,
bigger than what they were now. So I was sad to see that they were smaller. But here's the problem that I have with Lane, and I'm gonna get there in my final thought. But
mhm,
bro, y'all only have two trumpets, bro. But they have so many other things going on. They got a big ass dance team. They got a big ass drum line. Um, but I mean, I feel like Kentucky State took the dub as well. But I was actually very impressed with Lane, being that they were so small. But they seemed like they had it really like together. Like, when you have a small band like this, you're really asking a lot out of your players, bro. Like asking two
mhm.
trumpets, two mellows, you asking a lot out of these people. So when they have to battle the drum line for space, for noise space, it's difficult. So what do you think about the battle?
I didn't see the Lane Kentucky State battle all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Lane play one song. I seen them earlier this season though. I saw when they battle UAPB, and they working with what they have. I
Definitely.
didn't see any Kentucky, so but y'all know how I feel about Kentucky though.
Oh yeah, hey, look, you know the stance we have over here on Kentucky at the Crank Up HBCU Band Podcast. All right, we are Kentucky State supremacists. But let's go ahead and move on to band sins, man, so we can wrap this thing up. Um,
hmm
you can go first with your band sin, bro.
All right. My band saying goes to Miles because they wore T-shirts and shorts at homecoming. and did the field show in t-shirts and shorts at homecoming. Now,
That's very
now
bougie of you to say that.
it is very bougie of me to say this,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like right during homecoming, the halftime field show for homecoming, you bring the court through the
Mm-hmm.
homecoming court. You can't have the band in t-shirts and shorts with the homecoming court coming through looking with dress nice looking up. You can't do that.
Yeah, yeah, you can't.
You can't.
You can't.
Come on now. If you shouldn't even be on the field outside of full uniform anyway. But that's a whole nother.
That's a whole
That's
nother.
a whole
That's a whole nother
at a
story.
game.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother. That's some. I'm gonna let y'all get away with that sin, but this one at homecoming, no,
No,
no.
you can't do that. It's not at homecoming. But obviously, look,
no.
this is a whole thing about band funding. You know, they may not have the well, no, they
I'm
have
sure there's a
uniforms.
legitimate reason. I'm sure
I
there's a
hope it is.
legitimate
I
reason.
hope it is. Because that's literally wild, bro. You're not going to homecoming with damn t-shirts and shorts on. You can at least do the windsuit, and that's tacky
Hmm.
too. But
But
look, bro. When I came to
there's the dude who like t-shirts and swim trunks and field show.
I was just about to say, bro. When I came to A&T, bro, man, bro, it was wild to me, bro, that some of these bands were wearing shorts and spats. I thought that was so crazy, but we never did that. We were in Virginia. Hell no, we never did shorts and spats. So we always did, a windsuit or whatever. But shout out to the, to the different uniforms. Every band should at least have a windsuit, shirt, and in the actual uniform. The actual band uniform. Hopefully,
Hmm.
y'all can pick and choose which days y'all on. But for my bandstand, look, my bandstand goes to Nova State. I watched last week we talked about North State and Hampton battling. I watched the tuba battle that they had, like, in the game in like the third quarter. So the bandstand is you can't taunt and not play back. It literally doesn't make sense because they're still going. The people that you're playing, they're still going. Though they may not sound amazing, but they have a book and you don't. So if you stop playing,
Hmm.
take the L and sit down. So my point is, in this battle, Hampton played like three more punches or sectional pieces more than um, Nova State did. And Nova State is like, y'all suck. What are y'all doing? I'm like, bro, whoa, 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 stop. Y'all not playing. Y'all took y'all tubas down.
Horatio
Y'all,
start the film.
what are y'all doing? What are we doing? So I don't like that. I don't like trying to clown another band that has a book. Y'all don't have a book. So sit down and listen to them as they continue to run their book. So that's my bandstand for the week, bro. Y'all, we can't do that. That's literally irresponsible. That's not being self-aware as a bandsman. All right. And with that being said, we got to move on to our final thoughts so we can get up out of here. Manny, what is yours, my brother?
You know what? We gonna end it off with Killer Instinct. My final thought is Killer Instinct. We call these fifth quarters the battles. Who engages in battles? Warriors. You are at war, and you should treat it as such. There should be no excuse. You have to have the Killer Instinct. If you're not gonna have the Killer Instinct, why participate?
Mm,
Call it a showcase and go on the field and do another show, or just play some songs that's not even related to what the other band is doing. Matter of fact, why even give them a chance to play? Just run your songs and let them stay and do whatever they want to do.
all right.
But if it's a battle, you got to have that killer instinct. You got to have that motive and that drive to attack when necessary. If you don't look at band like that, you're doing it the wrong way because your behavior is not matching up with what your mindset's supposed to
Right.
be.
And you're in the wrong type of program. HBCU bands, bro. I know Edna Carr has a slogan that says the art of band is war. And that's a real shit.
Yeah.
Art of band is war, bro. This is a battle. So yeah, man, it's definitely. And we talked about that last week, having a small band, the sledgehammer in the hand or whatever. But that's very true. And I'm sure you're directing this to Jackson State as far as Alabama State, having like to put the nail in the coffin type of energy. Like, bro, it don't matter who we're going up against. Um, but yeah,
It's,
definitely, Killer Instinct is so important.
all right, what you got for your final thought?
Okay, and this is me looping back to what we just said, bro, about Lane. All right, why there is no reason if there are a lot of people in the band, the first concern is your instrument players, band director. I'm talking to the band directors right now for the final thought. The first concern is the instrument players. That's literally what you're gonna hear That's what everybody's hearing. That's what everybody's judging. Now I know, it's a whole sect of people who love dances, a whole sect of people who love percussion. But the main focus is the instrument players. So we cannot have 7 bass drums and 4 cymbals and damn 8 snares and 2 trumpets. It literally doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Cut these niggas. Say, look, hey, we're gonna have a cut. All right, I cannot have all these people. Y'all either gonna be cut, or no, you can say this. Hey, who wants to play trumpet? Right? Nobody raise their hand. Cool. Hey, Marcus, go get a trumpet. Hey, Danielle, go get a trumpet. The girl, the flag girl, go get. We need instrument players. Lane College, band directors. We need instrument players, bro. We do not need auxiliary. We don't need flag girls. We don't need all this shit. Lane has so many different things going on, but music. It's like, bro, what is going on? We can't do this. So for all my band directors, bro, the final thought is we cannot have no lopsided bands, bro. Of course, that comes with balance and everything. But it's real shit, bro. We need to have a college band, bro. We can't do this. Like, y'all have the numbers, but y'all not put them in the right places.
I think I'm gonna say this, and we will close out. This especially goes to the schools when you got 5 trumpets, 3 trombones, 2 clarinets, 3 saxes, and you got 5 drum majors. What you doing?
What y'all doing? Y'all mind's not in the right place. Y'all trying to be cool. Y'all trying to look cool. Y'all trying to look like a premier band. No, let's sound like one. Let's sound like one. And shit, man. And you know what? That's a mantra of today's episode. Let's sound like a premier band. Y'all, make sure you follow us at Crank Up Pod on Instagram. You can follow me at Horatio Radio. You can follow that guy Manny at Manny_Festive. And we appreciate you guys. Make sure you contact us. Let us know some band scenes and your final thought. And subscribe to this podcast if we know you guys are very creative. And we appreciate it. And we see you guys next week. Y'all have a good one. You had a better start than me if you started with something. Tomorrow ain't promised. These politicians ain't honest. I keep